Hello, you're listening to a Talk Spirit Anime Cast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with Chris.
Yo.
In today's episode is a discussional podcast episode. We'll go through the news that seems important to us, that should be important to you because it's important to us. We have really big news, Chris.
Do we?
Rent a Girlfriend's coming back.
Let me check my daily calendar to see if
Are you scheduling, getting ready for it?
No,
we don't have a date yet.
I'm gonna find things to fill my schedule in that area.
Just find a way to go into a comatose state so you don't have to hear people even talk about it. But yes, lots of great news. Of course, we had AX and everything happened. I did make a video talking about most of the AX news, but obviously want to get Chris's perspective on things. And we have some following after the AX news, which we do want to get into. So lots of cool stuff in this podcast episode. But yes, as per usual, at talkspirit.com is where you can go for all of our links, social media links, ways to get a hold of us, ways to support us. Greatly appreciate what it does. But yeah, how's been the last couple months since we've been doing reviews and stuff? You doing well?
I'm doing fine.
Enjoying summer?
I am trying to see which shows I'm gonna keep up on. So
it's a tough season. I mean, there's like shows like you talked about last week, or not last week, a couple weeks ago about Pseudo Harem. I finally watched that show and I was like, it's fine. But there's always that but at the end of like every show that I'm watching where it's like, it's fine. It's just 59 shows and there's a lot of really good shows right now.
I mean, it's
really good looking shows.
I don't.
Did you watch the new Don Machi show yet? The Wistoria.
Wistoria. Okay, that's what that one was. Okay, I know that.
It's so good.
I know the Pseudo Harem I like ish. I think she's cute and I think dude's cute, fun, but
it's just not creative, is what I feel like.
Yeah,
like it's a cute concept, but it's not doing anything with it.
And I just can't stand the artwork.
Yeah, I said that in my video. I was like, distracting.
It's not. That artwork is not working for me at all. It was so funny. I just literally watched an episode. I'm like, I just can't. I don't know what it is about that artwork that is bugging me so much.
And like I was making sure everybody knew, I understand that her art style is supposed to change when she changes different looks.
Yeah.
Like her cool mode, she has a more sharper chin. And of course, she's going to pick up her pigtails whenever she does the tsundere. But it's like, even when she's not doing a character, she looks different every scene. He always has kind of that little like tiredness under his eyes, but he even sometimes, it's like the facial structure in the eyes constantly changing. It's like, it's so distracting. I'm sure there's people that this is not going to bother, but holy crap, it's distracting as hell. I don't know, maybe Chris implanted it in my head. No, because we noticed it in the preview.
Yeah.
We pointed out back then. So maybe I planted it in your head then, and then you implanted it again in my head, and that's why we're biased.
Maybe.
Russian Waifu, though. Tell me you're liking that show.
Love it.
It's so good. We got the sister in this last episode. Good morning, brother. I had my video that I posted on Twitter of that right there was like, yeah, that thing's taken off. I got like, I don't know, way over 1,000 retweets and everything. People loving that clip.
The lost. I'm not sure about the losing heroines. We'll see how that picks up on.
You haven't seen that one yet, but I did clip the sister part because the sister part was super cute.
I didn't hate it. But at the same time, I don't know. We'll see if the other characters kind of lift up the
I heard that it's very depressing at times. It's very depressing. No, I think like the Russian Waifu 2.5D seduction is okay. What was the other one that like really, really knocked me out?
And Nokotan took too long to get started.
That show is like...
I did not like the way it started.
It's like... I think we all kind of hyped ourselves up on that show because it's like... It's okay. It's got some really good funny bits in it, but it's like, I don't know that this has something I'm going to stick with.
Exactly. When I went into it, I was like, okay, this is not working for me at all. I almost halfway through it, I was like,
the first half of the first episode was really good for me. It was the second half where it drug out.
Oh, it didn't work for me at all. The second half was where it started picking up, but by the end of it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It just isn't. I don't think that this is going to work. But yeah, that first part didn't work for me at all. I didn't find anything funny. I got the jokes. I could see them, but it was like,
them, but I was dodging them.
I was dodging them, you know.
They were like these, they were super slow too, so it was really easy to get past them. Yeah, I mean it's good, but at the same time, it's like I think the hype is kind of too much around it. I mean, they did a good job marketing that. The people took off with those memes and everything, and
now to be fair, the coming through the door was freaking
just
hilarious.
as good as a PV as it was.
It was hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, I can see why Andrew loved that PV, because that was
by the
hilarious.
way, the debris hitting people, they did that. It was original. It's not in the manga.
Oh yeah.
So like the teacher sitting there with like this shards of glass hanging off her head, and then she freaks out.
And then the music topped it off.
The teacher getting thirsty for her, I won't say that she was thirsty for the girl, but it was more of like the moment she brought up the virginity thing, and the teacher going, is she really? It was like, why is the teacher responding like that? Wasn't in the manga. So again, really? another original thing. So they're doing some cool stuff to kind of add to the jokes and stuff, but I don't know if you can do 3 chapters of an episode. It's just, I think it needed to be 4. I think 4 would have been perfect. Or cut it down to like a 14-minute long episode. I think that would be perfect. Because I was wanting it to be like Nishijo speed. Like Nishijo is not like breakneck speed, but it keeps cutting to the next part. And I think there's some of the scenes that kind of just drag out. So
yeah, I was scared it was going to go into a breakneck chaotic humor, and I was like, no.
I wanted that. I wanted like the PV where it's just bam, bam, bam. Just what the hell is going on in this show? It's so crazy. What's going on? It's good though. It's good. It's got some good points in it though. But now, what else? There was something else that really, really had me. Again, I think the biggest one now is the Russian Waifu. I'm just really enjoying that show. But it's been a solid season so far, and I'm kind of afraid of like how many good shows that we have, because it's going to make it very difficult to drop shows. I mean, I haven't watched the Heroines one yet, but just the visually, it looks super good. Like just the animation, and everything. Which again, I got from the PV too.
If I can give that show nothing else, it looks gorgeous.
Oh, Monogatari, loving it. I'm loving it, dude. It's so good. I wish my videos on the Monogatari series did better, but it is what it is. Did you watch the Elusive Samurai yet?
No.
That one's very Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, really?
Like not the movie Rurouni Kenshin, like the series where it's like it's got the goofiness in there, and I love it. It looks beautiful. Like it looks so freaking good, dude. It's just a gorgeous show. Probably one of the best looking shows this season, but it's like constantly jokes being thrown in there. Like it's so jarring. Like he's literally sitting there contemplating how this person that he loves so much literally got killed, and he's in this depressed state about betrayal and everything. And then suddenly the Shinto priest guy just literally sticks his face in front of him, and there's this massively bright light behind him, and he's going, "Hey!" It's like, why is this happening here? Like again, I can kind of assume that it's like a school live thing, where it's like one person kind of keeps the other person happy so they don't fall in that depression, but it's like, God, you're ruining every single scene with this dude. Stop.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Did you watch the suicidal isekai guy?
No, not yet. The author. He's an author.
Didn't work.
No?
No.
I haven't heard much buzz around it, so that makes sense to me. The Lolicon dungeon show is decent.
Liked it.
It's just cute. The guy sucks, though. I hate the main character, but that's kind of expected for it.
The raising your kids was cute.
Is it visually as bad as the PV was?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was cute.
Nier was depressing. That's doing very well for me. Is that pretty much it?
I did watch the 2 robot girls. I like the waifu more than I like the lolly go in the ocean world. So
Atari.
Yeah. I mean, it might pull something together in later episodes, but as it stands right now, it's just on a okay.
Last one that I watched that I'm curious about, Days of the Stepsister.
Haven't watched it yet.
Haven't watched it yet? I'm very curious what you think of that show. It is super slow, but it's very real, I guess is the best way to put it. Like it's normal. Like there's no antics. It's not like anime. It's literally like just two siblings just talking, and it feels normal, but you know what comes with normal is boring. So it's like a sense of like, I'm like, this is so atmospheric. It's definitely making you feel like they're real characters and real people, and it's so settled. But I'm afraid there's not gonna be a punchline for it. Like, I'm sitting through this long, drawn out scenario. It's like watching somebody's webcam in their house. As creepy as that sounds, because we all know what that's like, right? Well, I mean, like CCTV video and stuff like that, where you like an incident happens and they'll have like the raw footage of it. That's a good example. And you'll be watching the raw footage, waiting for the moment that actually happens. And sometimes you'll skip forward because it's like, you don't want to sit there and watch them as they kind of come in there and they sit down for like a while. A good example, remember that, I don't know if you've ever seen that one video where they had a camera in their house and it showed the living room and the upstairs up here. And then suddenly at some point you'll see the invader of the house. He comes to the balcony and looks down at them, and they were sleeping on the couch. And I watched both footage, the one where they showed the clips of it and then the full footage. And it was like, yeah, it was like one of those cases where you're like, this is really boring. You want to skip forward. It's kind of like that. Like, you're just watching them just sit there talking about like the most mundane stuff, but it's like, but it's normal. And thus it's kind of where you can sort of feel that they're believable in a sense. Again, my whole point is that I hope that there's a, like it's a payoff. Like, all this time waiting is a payoff. But yeah, it's been really good so far. Like I said, directing is just spot on. Like, they just had this whole, a good example again is another one of the scenes they have is where she goes in the bath after him and he's already gone to bed. And then you see her coming out of the bathroom into the hallway. She goes and walks towards her bedroom. And then she comes back out and she hits a couple light switches, and there's like light switch turning on. This one turns on this light. She turns off that one. And then finally she finds the right light. Just because she's never lived there before. It's like her first night there. So she doesn't know how to turn off the lights. And so she's constantly, and so it gives you a sense that she's in her house. She doesn't know anything about the house. So it gives that sense of like, you know, her being in a stranger's home, basically. But it gives you that feel. But at the same time, it's kind of a pointless scene, except for the fact to show that she's outside of her comfort zone. So anyways, that's a lot of blah, blah to say that I'm very interested to see where that one goes. I like how it opens up the entire show saying, my stepbrother is basically a stranger. And I'm like, yeah, we know where this is going. And then it has a guy and he's literally saying, in most like manga and anime, step siblings get together romantically, but that could be further from reality. And I'm like, yep, we know where this is going. I know what you're doing. I know what you're cooking. We'll see though. Anything else? Did you get caught up on Monogatari series?
Huh?
Are you watching the Monogatari series?
No, that's what I was saying. I haven't got to it yet.
That one's going to be fun to talk about. Super good. Super good. It's like so back. Chef's so back. I'm so excited. Anyways, yeah, that's a quick summer talk. I'm assuming probably next week we'll start doing our first impressions because there's a lot of shows to go through and I don't want to go all the way into mid-season doing that stuff. So I'll do like last season. Last season we did first impressions first, and then we went and did the music podcast episode, and that actually worked out better because we don't need to hurry to the music podcast episode. So we'll do that again this season. Worked out better.
So we're starting first impressions next week.
Next week. So just give me whatever you cook over the week, and I'll put it in the front of the line. Don't put everything good. You gotta put some crappy ones in there too. We'll get them all though. Anyways, yes, let's talk about the news that seems important to us, that should be important to you because it's important to us. Kicking things off with, like I joked about earlier, yes, the official Twitter account for Rent a Girlfriend has announced that it's getting a 4th season. It's going to premiere in 2025, and it covers the Hawaiians arc. Apparently, they're going to Hawaii, I'm guessing. I don't know. Because you know how school kids just like to go to Hawaii every now and then. Just jump in a plane and go over there.
Are they school kids? I thought they were after school.
They're in college. But I guess do you call a college kid a school kid? I guess that, yeah, I don't know. He probably quit. Kids. I mean, he probably quit so that he can do the movie. I don't know. I don't ever see them in school, so I never see them in school. I don't think I've seen them in school since the first season, so maybe they graduated at some point. I don't know. I don't care enough to care. I don't care enough to know. I don't know. I've heard that the 3rd season was supposed to be like peak, So I don't even know if there's a point to even watching beyond the 3rd season if it goes downhill from here. So I don't know. I'll probably get roped into it. I don't know. I'll decide in 2025. I'll put off caring about if I want to watch or not till later because I don't even want to think about it right now. Maybe somebody will come out of nowhere and say, no, actually the 4th season's going to be lit. They're probably messing with me. I was interested in this.
4th season is probably the moment.
The moment. The ultimate moment. I was actually interested in this. There's a new listing for a manga, Sailor Zombie, which is from the AKB 48. They're teasing a new anime project for it. So apparently we're going to get Sailor Zombies. I have no clue about this. The high school zombie horror project began in 12-episode live-action series. They have a video game for it. The video game looks terrible. The video game looks terrible. And it has a manga, so I'm guessing it's going to be based on the manga. The art style of the manga looks pretty good, but apparently it's an all-girls high school who you must survive and adapt to a world invaded by zombies. That tells me nothing. It's a zombie apocalypse, and they sing and dance because it's AKB 48. So obviously you have to have singing and dancing for it. I don't know. We'll see. We need more zombie anime. Anytime we can get zombie anime, I'm all for it. So I don't know. I never watched the AKB 48. What was it? A mecha show? Did you ever watch that?
I don't think so, but I don't remember it.
I heard it. Well, I've heard from I think like one person, maybe two, that it was really good. Like they really like it. So I don't know if I can trust their judgment though. It's like it's one of those people where you like talking to them, and every now and then they go, "Dude, you watch this? It's great." And you're like, "I bet it's amazing." You gonna watch it? Sure. Eventually, sure. I don't trust this guy.
Sure.
One of these days. I don't know if this is good news or not, but yes, Dogo Kobo has been acquired by Kadokawa. So Kadokawa has officially announced that they have acquired the studio, and they plan to make it a whole subsidiary. So I don't know. Kadokawa doesn't have any other studios, do they? Kadokawa. I don't know. Maybe that isn't Kadokawa the ones that own Anime News Network. So that means that we're gonna get better articles about Dogo Kobo on Anime News Network, or is that Kodansha? I forget which one bought them. I don't know if Kadokawa owns any other studios. I don't.
They
think so.
They just want their games to be animated.
They have games.
Kadokawa?
Yeah.
Don't they?
I'd probably. I don't know. I know they're a publisher. And that's right.
Maybe they are. And they're
obviously, my only concern there is really that Dogo Kobo doesn't get messed with, because Dogo Kobo makes some really incredible stuff. I mean, they've had one like really bad flop for me, but everything else has been incredible. So, I mean, it was inevitability with how popular a lot of Dogo Kobo's properties have been, or at least the projects they've done have been. So for somebody to come up and snatch them up, it makes sense. So
I think you're right. I think that my brain is fried right now. So
did you? You got to stay away from the frying pans. I keep telling you, don't stick your head in a frying pan.
Well, it's
no air fryers either.
It's deep fry, oil. Yeah.
I'm surprised you still have your hair on your head, or is that a wig?
It's
a wig.
It's actually
it's a very sensitive subject. Shut up, Andrew.
It's digitally generated.
Oh, I just pasted on there.
Yep, you just pasted it.
There it is, right there. The mocap on it's great. This is really, really exciting.
See, what you guys don't see is Andrew, his secret hand over here off to the side where he's
I have to constantly be clicking and dragging it. Every time you move your head, it's very difficult, but I'm pretty good at it. No, I was super excited when I found out this. The Twitter account for Minami Ke has announced during its 20th anniversary that the manga will be getting a new season adaptation. Did you ever watch Minami Ke?
I believe I did.
The Three Sisters.
That was like forever ago.
Forever. Well, I think somewhere I read it like literally 11 years ago, which I'm like, 2013, really? It's been that long already? I mean, it makes sense. I probably could say that I remember watching it. Like,
I mean, there was an entire binder full of DVDs that I stole from Andrew and watched a whole bunch of them.
I probably have that in my booklet in there. So yeah, I don't know if they're still functioning CDs anymore, but I probably have them because I don't think anybody has Minami Ke right now. I don't think I think Crunchyroll had it at some point. No, it was Funimation, wasn't it?
And the etchier, the better. Those are the ones that I usually hit from Andrew's collection first. Like
yes.
the kid with all the maids.
It's on. It's actually on
Which one
Crunchyroll's.
was that one called?
It's on Crunchyroll dubs, so it was a Funimation show because Crunchyroll dubs was Funimation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned their YouTube channel into that. So it's still on Crunchyroll dubs YouTube channel, but it's not on Crunchyroll. The Butler Show, what?
The Shotokan show with all the maids,
Oh,
Anakyo maids.
I guess because I don't think it's the whatever in Butler's one because I don't think I've ever seen that one. Minami, yeah, it's not on there. That's dumb. Crunchyroll, another thing that died in the Crunchyroll move over is Minami Ke. That's a disastrous loss there. Well, hopefully with the new season coming, hopefully they will re-up the licenses and put it back up there because I love the series. I think Minami Ke was just so fantastic. It's about for those who don't know, it's about three sisters living alone. One's the eldest that takes care of the family. I was always talking about Yuzuki family basically being the male version of Minami Ke, but Minami Ke is much more goofier. There's a lot of slice of life elements to it, but it's basically like the youngest is the brainchild. Like she is just way too smart, and she thinks the middle daughter is like the dumbest thing because she is pretty much dumb. The middle daughter reminds me of the Aho girl. Like she's literally like I think when I watched Aho girl, I was like, that's literally the middle sister in Minami Ke. But it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I really enjoy those characters. So I'm super happy that it's getting more. And again, I'm really hoping that because that's getting a new anime, please give us another a Blu-ray release of them. I'm assuming since they're having this 20th anniversary, maybe they're doing a Blu-ray release of it, and then we can get maybe somebody pick that up over here. If anything, maybe hopefully like one of the other groups picks it up, Discotheque or something, would be great. We'll see though. But that's probably that's it. That's all the news. That's the most important news right there. We don't need anything else. Another change. Studio Pierrot is actually being rebranded and rebranding their second studio to Pierrot Films. So I'm assuming they're just kind of breaking off so they can have different branches work on different projects, or maybe just the films group working on specifically films.
That would make sense.
Their focus is to bring out the best of each other and to evolve the tandem to deliver the highest quality anime to the world. Well, they call TV anime films a lot too, so I don't know. It's not like the same. Doesn't seem to hold the same credit as we do with like film has to be movie and theater. Who knows? But yeah, it's we'll see what that actually, if that does anything at all besides just a rebranding. Anime Expo news though. I did not cover one thing that came out later on that was late in Anime Expo for my video, and that was Crunchyroll announced that in their panel that the new Fire Force anime is going to be its final season, and it's going to be running 2 cores. And the first part's premiering in April.
Cores.
It's going to be running for 2 cores that are going to be split cores. Yes, you're correct. First one premiering in April 2025, and the second part in January 2026. So I don't think I finished the last season. I'm pretty darn sure that I never finished the last season. I think I was like halfway through it, so I'll probably have to finish that just so
I would still have to catch up on a season and a half. I got to the point where they were going outside of their town. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of the final season that they had. So wasn't that a 2 core? So I think you have like 2 cores to work with here. Fire Force was on Crunchyroll, right? It's easier to look on there than look on my anime list because I can actually just do a drop down to check them. Yeah, it was a 2 core. So yeah, season 2 was a 2 core. I got through. It looks like I got through 15 of 24 episodes. I was close to being done. Yeah, that was close. If you got right when they left the town, I think that is 6 episodes into it. Yeah, because Road to Oasis was at episode 7, so yeah, you got a lot to go through. I don't know, it's like one of those ones where do I restart? Because I don't remember anything that was going on. I do remember that whole thing where the road trip they took was getting into the plants and stuff like that, which is like a mass reveal for the series. But yeah, I'll probably get caught up. I don't see why not. I don't hate this series, but at the same time, I was kind of just getting bored. Just wasn't holding me.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those that I didn't hate it either. I just was kind of going with it, and at some point it was like, I'm 4 episodes behind.
I still think it would have been better show.
I'm 7 episodes behind. Oh, I'm 9 episodes behind. Andrew's like, yeah, I was falling behind. Oh well.
And I do also blame that most of the time whenever it's a 2-core and always that middle between the 2 cores and you're getting the new season coming out. You just fall off. You never pick it back up. And it is what it is. This is I want to show this to Chris. Let me mute before I do this. That way I don't blast out the microphones here. This was actually really cool, and that was the trailer for Witch Hat. Or did I show it to you the other week? The Witch Hat Atelier trailer. I don't think I showed it to you. But yeah, the staff for the Witch Hat Atelier showed off a new PV for the anime adaptation. They revealed a new visual as well. It's going to be done by Bug Films. That's my only concern is Bug Films, the one that did the Bucket List of the Dead. So it's like, I hope that they at least have a better scheduling this time. The disaster that was Bug Films with Bucket List of the Dead, that could have been a complete production like mishap and scheduling mishap, so it might not be their actual fault. So I don't know, we'll see. The trailer again looks really incredible, so
yeah,
I do hope it works out. They have the guy that did the music for Elden Ring doing the music for it. You can't hear it but it's really good. What else was in there that was interesting? The director worked on Doraemon, Summertime Render, Come Can Communicate. Manga story centered around Coco, a girl who lives in a little village and who has always dreamed of becoming a wizard, but being born without magical aptitude meant that she could never become a wizard and could never hope to witness magic spark. She gave up on her dream, but one day a traveling wizard named Kefle came to the village and happened to see him perform magic. So it looks so good. I was getting like Farron vibes when I watched it, like just the backdrops and the aesthetic of it. Looks super good.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
2025. I don't think I've seen that date before. I'm pumped for it. I heard positive things about it when it was first announced beginning an adaptation. So yeah, when the PV came out, I was like, okay, that pretty much shows me that everybody was kind of correct on at least being hyped for it. I don't know if the story's any good, but I mean, people are really positive on it based on the story alone. So the hope is that the story backs it up. You pumped for that?
Yeah.
Pumped for it?
I can be excited.
Be excited. Kadokawa revealed a new visual for Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. I love how like everybody was freaking out. Like anything that it feels like anything that comes out around Panty and Stocking, everybody acts like it's news. I think when the panel happened for Panty and Stocking, people were like, new news around Panty and Stocking. They officially announced it, and I was like, but they already announced it. No, this is the official announcement. No, they already announced it doing a Panty and Stocking. But no, it's got a new in front of it, so they just announced it. No, that it's already been announced. It's coming. We already know. Trigger's doing it. We know that it's called Panty and Stocking. We know it's going to have the characters Panty and Stocking. Is that their names? I think it's their names, right?
Yeah.
So it's happening. Anyways,
well,
but no.
I think it's their magical girl name. So, I mean,
thank you, Chris. we got the expert in here, saving Andrew from his actually crew coming after him. No, what I did like is that like literally the staff is like pretty much gonna be the same. So that is I think the biggest news out of that whole thing is them actually confirming, hey, I mean we got the writers and directors and everybody working on this. Which again, for those who don't know, it's literally their project. Like the people at Trigger were the people that worked on Panty and Stocking at the previous studio. They moved Trigger and they got the title. So it was obvious that they were going to be the same people.
I'm halfway tempted to go and actually get farther than about 3 episodes in that show.
I will have to watch
because
it.
There is aspects of it that I did like. So when I seen clips of it and stuff like that, I was like, this just isn't my humor. It is
like it felt very Western humor.
Mm-hmm.
which yes won't happen these days, but it just I don't know. It just felt it didn't feel like anime. Is really the key thing there. But I'll definitely be watching it. It's going to be airing and streaming in 2025, so we got less than a year. I don't know what they said. I think what people were quoting them as saying is the date is 2025. And then they said specifically, we set a date to push us to get it done. So I think it's them basically acknowledging that we want to structure ourselves and put a date so that we have something to go towards. And so that's their hope. So they could probably still delay it past 2025. And that means that they're probably nowhere near done, or at least not done enough. They're going to put the passion into it, obviously. So I think if they do get to that point where they can't hit 2025, they're probably going to push it off. So it's a promising sign.
Before you go on to your next thing, have you watched the Evil Lord and the magical girl falling in love with the Evil Lord or something?
Mm-mm. I have it queued, but I haven't watched it.
You got it queued? Pop up that I think it's in the first 2 minutes. I want to see if you like her magical girl transformation. I thought
We're doing it live?
doing it live.
What was the Japanese title?
Probably something Mao.
It should be right there. That's my house shoujo to Aku.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that looks it.
That looks it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Now.
Oh no, she's undressing. Oh dang, she's taking off. Chris, what is this show? This is very inappropriate. What in the world? Tracksuit, jumping through a field of stars, plunging into the water. She's naked. Yeah, that she's totally naked. And now her clothes are being put on. If there's even clothes, it could just be her being painted. I mean, the expectation for any show with a magical girl character is going to be a lot of animation because they reuse it a lot.
Yeah.
So they always put a lot of effort into the magical girl transformation.
Well, I was trying to think back on all the magical girls transformations that I've seen. I would venture a guess this is probably the most beautiful I've seen yet.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, it's beautiful, but I wouldn't say that it's better than a lot of other shows now. I would probably save that one... Because I was one original show that you didn't watch that I watched. I thought that was that show called. It was. I think it was on High Dive. But no, there's a lot of them that has a lot more ingenuity to it.
I was trying to think back. I mean, even the one. I think the other one that I was thinking of was the one where she was almost tap dancing. And I couldn't think of which one that one was. But yeah, there's just...
I mean, a lot of them do that. I mean, Mew Mew does that one.
Some of the...
Shoujo.
Madoka ones were really fantastic.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like I said, they put a lot of effort in the magical girl transformations. I mean, it's literally, like I said, it's something they're going to reuse, so they do an amazing job on it. Man, the magical girl tag on Mal sucks. There's way too much crap in there. I will say that was a better transformation than the transformations in Gushing Over Magical Girls. They didn't really do much with those ones. I mean, besides like the later part with What's-Her-Face doing her super move was pretty insane. I'm trying to remember... I mean, the Yuki Yuna ones were really good as well. I'm trying to remember what that one original anime was. Did they have any in Spec Op Asuka? I don't think they ever had transformations that, did they?
I don't remember any.
I don't think so. Huh. And technically, Cardcaptor Sakura, I don't think really had any either because she was usually in her, whatever outfit that she was given.
Yeah.
Her transformation was her friend making random outfits for her.
That's true.
And even Moidaskara had some really good transformation in that one, if I remember correctly. Might be misremembering. I literally am not going to find this show that I'm thinking of. I think the order that's on Mal is skewed because I'm already seeing that one dark magical girl that you talked about a long time ago. Yeah, this tag sucks. Mal, your tag for Magical Girl kind of sucks because there's so many you're missing here. Or people aren't tagging them.
Hopefully our listeners are commenting down below us of
that's why I'm dragging it out.
The best magical girl transformation you have ever seen. Go ahead and put that down in the comments. There you go.
I was dragging
now
out.
You've got interaction.
I was dragging out trying to find the show that I'm thinking of because there's probably somebody that's like, I know exactly what Andrew's trying to think of. It was like an original magical girl. I think she was I know this narrows it down a lot. She was a shrine maiden girl. And
Inari Konkon?
No, that's not a magical girl. I mean, it's technically a magical girl, but it's not a magical girl. It's a magical girl, but it's not a magical girl. Yeah, I don't think I even have it listed. How dumb. Anyways, that was a weird side tangent.
Sorry.
Thank you, Chris. So yeah, Panty and Stocking Garterbelt is coming in 2025. Yeah, like I said, I do want to watch it. I do want to watch it before it comes out. So there you go. There you go. Chris, some exciting news. June Maida's Heaven Burns Red is going to get an English release. YoStar Games has announced that. It's going to be on PC, smartphone, or was on PC and smartphone in Japan. The assumption is that it's going to be the same over here. So that's cool. Remember we talked about that game when they got bought up? Key and Visual Studios got bought up, and they were talking about how that game like bumped up their worth. Like literally, he's like, what was it? I don't forget exactly what he said in the interview, but he was basically like, I'm very thankful to June Maida for Heaven's Burn Red because it really helped our value just before Tencent bought us. So it's like, yeah, we got a whole bunch more money than we were originally going to get because that mobile game did really well. I haven't really seen anything on it. I watched a clip of it when this got announced that it was getting an English release, but it was the assumption that was going to come over here, especially since Tencent, I'm going to assume, is going to be like, yeah, get that stuff out there so that people play it and make us money.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is... I think we even talked about this when they bought them out. It's literally their cash cow right now. Why wouldn't they release it globally? I mean, they didn't buy Key Visual Studios and whatnot just to get the visual novels that don't make them but one sell. They want the mobile game. Mobile game is the one that's going to make them money. I don't know. I mean, I think there was another news that they were releasing something else that was Key Visual Arts in the West. I think it was it Canon? I think it was Canon. Yeah. No, that was Summer Pockets getting an anime adaptation. Never mind. I'm dumb. I think Canon is getting a Western release, though. That's cool, though. I'm excited for that. I'll probably play it. I don't need another mobile game right now, but I'll probably play it. I'll probably finally uninstall maybe Nikke. I'm done. I think I'm done with Nikke.
Yeah.
It's got a level block. You have to have like 5 units be fully limit broke, meaning you have to get like 4 copies of them before you can progress past 160 with all the characters. So literally, I hit this 160 level cap point, and I have to get dupes of all these characters, 5 of them, to go beyond that. And so I can't do any content. Like I can't progress the story. I can't do half of the events and stuff like that. It's like, this is the point where you literally say you have to like whale, otherwise you can't go past this point. It's like I'm playing the game and I'm enjoying it. Like it's legit a fun game. And then I get to this one like turning point over here where it goes to that little your height measurement at the ride, and it says like how much you've spent. And it says you must spend this much to get past here.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, well, I could, but you know what? F you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to enjoy the game, but I don't want to be forced to pay. I want to pay. Like, I did that with Brown Dust, too. I'm thoroughly enjoying Brown Dust, too. I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying it. Like, I basically got into it just before the Mushoku Tensei collab, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I was enjoying it before the Mushoku Tensei collab came out. I give money. Because they've shown me that they care about my time. It's an enjoyable game, and I want it to succeed. Nikke, the moment that happened, I was like, screw you. I no longer want to pay into this.
That was the argument that I made for Genshin. I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
They deserved my money. That's plain and simple. Now, I do have my problems with it, but that's a different issue. But I actually
like blurring bubbles on your butt when you're swimming.
that's irritating.
So
I haven't explored that. I'm so far behind on that.
I literally logged in, wanted to explore for a little bit, went underwater, that bubble appeared, and I said, Alt F4, I'm done. Like, this is such a, like, I feel like a child playing this game because, like, I don't, like, the character I was swimming with had pants on. It's not like I could say anything. They wanted to blur it. Like, don't treat me like I'm 10 years old.
I've bumped into a couple of those games that are actually pay to win, and all I did was sat there and just wanted to say a couple of choice words at the game.
And it never felt pay to win because obviously there's no PvP. So,
well,
I mean, you can pay to make things easier.
Well, yeah, that was my point. Was pay, basically what you were describing is pay to get past
pay
this
for
point.
Power.
Yeah, pay for power, and it's like
power.
like
you're talking about like a actual roadblock like Nick Ke has.
Something like that,
Okay.
yes. And it's like, okay, no, I'm not paying you money. I do not enjoy this game enough. You have not sold me on this game. I'm dinking with this game 5 minutes out of every day if I feel like it. I don't even care about your game. It's just a move this guy over here, move this guy over there, and watch it win. That's all it is. And you're going and you're making it to where I can't move things here and there unless I push this little button down here, which costs your little special little coins over there. I'm not going to use their.
Are you talking about time gating? Where like you run out of energy and you have to wait or pay?
this is actually
legit pay to pass this point.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's literally this little button uses those coins right there. I don't use those buttons because I want those things so that I can buy more things to make myself do other things. And it's like, no, I'm not going to pay your $5.99 for that stupid little coin there to use this little power down here that I don't want to use.
Shared currencies kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. If that's picking up on the microphone, by the way, we have a ferret that's not. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's very sick. Poor thing. And we're not ignoring it. There's somebody in the other room to take care of it. It's like you're abusing it. Anyways, that was a fun discussion of mobile games. But again, Heavens Burn Red. We'll see when that one comes out. But they even what was the other one at? I want to talk about the other mobile game. Let's get the mobile game talk out of the way. Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica, Magia, Exedra game is coming out.
No.
On Steam,
already went through
iOS,
that.
and Android 2024. Chris is already picking up on what I'm stepping on. Yeah, it's being published by Aniplex USA. So, I don't know. I've been told by people since it's going to be seemingly going to be a global release, maybe it'll do better. Whereas Magia Record, Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica mobile game, which I played and put money into, was just United States. So maybe it'll do better, but I don't trust Aniplex, Crunchyroll, any of them with games anymore. I mean, by all means, if you want to play it, you want to put money into it, you do you. But I just caution. I just put that caution label down here saying, based on my experience, end of service game that I put money into that was Madoka Magica related. It's obviously they're wanting to put this out there because Madoka Magica's come back.
Yeah.
They got those are movies, right? They were doing more movies?
Yes, supposedly they're going to do another movie.
So they're probably banking on the hype around that, and we'll see how long it lasts. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see how long it lasts. Anyways, that's the mobile game news. What else do we have? Let's see. G-Kids announced that they've licensed Naoko Yamada's Garden of Remembrance film, so get a release from them on that one. That's cool. I'll probably pick that up. This is cool. Chris, you'll be excited for this. Sekai Project has announced that it will be launching a 10th anniversary celebration of Nekopara. It's so funny. It took me forever to stop saying Nekopara and start saying Nokopara from Mushoku Tensei. And now every single time I said Nekopara, I think I'm saying it wrong. It's like, Nokopara, you freaking messed me up so bad, you stupid horse. Stupid horse. Anyways, the announcement says that we're releasing remasters of the game series, updated sprites, full HD support. The first volume is set for first quarter of 2025, and the others the following in 2025.
Cool.
Others to follow in that year. Volume 4, which was already announced before, is going to be released in 2025 as well. So apparently 4 total volumes. I'm going to assume Volume 4 is going to be full HD supported. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume they're going to be new cells, not update patches for those that own it already. I have it, and I'll check it. I'll check it when they do the... But no. I think... Did I get it from Sekai Project? Did Dempa Soft sell it? I want to say that I got it from Dempa. Was it Dempa? Is it Dempa, the group that does the adult versions? Because I didn't want the censored version, so I got it through... Was it Dempa?
Dempa Soft sounds familiar, or sounds like it.
By Nekopara.
I usually, if I want to get an
I know I didn't get it from
version of
Sentai.
something, it's usually going outside of whatever is going on Steam. My immediate reaction was Jast, but
Dempa. Unless Sekai Project pulled it from Dempa. Yeah, it's on Dempa Soft. Okay, so I was right. Dempa Soft. Did I say Dempa Soft?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's Dempa Soft. But yeah, I got them all through there, so I'm gonna assume they're probably gonna do another release of it.
Does Dempa Soft put their stuff on Jast?
It's so funny. It's been a while since I actually read it. It didn't look bad. So, like, does it need an HD release? I don't remember it having any problems with...
Well, some of the earlier ones were probably a little bit lower in quality, but I don't think it's necessarily bad quality. It's just...
Yeah, it's probably one of those things, like, if you look, you could probably see a pixelization.
You start talking about 4K when you're getting it from a...
For all those folks that want to watch that Nekopara on that 4K TV, don't want them pixels, man. Want that edge nice and crisp. Those...
Well, I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, why not just put out the daggum vectors? But hey, what do I know?
I doubt a lot of them use vectors.
Yeah, right.
I doubt a lot of them do.
But if they put out vectors, then people would be able to dink with them, and that's probably not in their best interest, I'm sure.
The great thing is they'll dink with them anyways.
Right?
They're gonna dink with them anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Did I read volume 4 or 3? I mean, I don't know. It's been so long. Probably not, since it's been so long. They also, because it's Sekai Project, they're also launching a crowdfunding campaign to manufacture a set of Chocola and Vanille figurines. They're gonna have the creator Sayori be handling the illustration and sculpting. So that's a good thing. They're gonna get them involved. But yes, I like many other people will question. There's plenty of Chocola and Vanille figurines. Why do we need another one? Which I answered very quickly when I thought about that question is because Sekai Project doesn't get any money for those figurines. So now they want to have a figurine they can get the money from.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys, do you have to crowdfund everything? Sekai Project, do you have to crowdfund anything? It's so normal for them. I don't think they care anymore. It's like, just do another crowdfunding campaign. Some people are going to complain, but they still do it. I don't know. It's just me bickering. I do want to get... when this announcement came out, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to get a chocolate and vanilla figurine, so I maybe might finally do that. Not theirs. Just something else. Because theirs looks too plain. Or at least the illustration they put, I think. And if this is the illustration they're going to use, I'm assuming, because I think it was that announcement. Yeah, it's very, very overly frilly looking. It looks very, what's the word, Chris?
Idolish?
Idolish, yeah. Very bubblegum, I guess. Very bubblegum and too much. I don't know. Just doesn't look like... I mean, it looks like the characters, but... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's plenty... There's tons of other ones that look way better than those ones, so... maybe I'll pick up a figurine set for them at some point. Anyways, that's AX news. Did you hear that Ranma 1/2 is getting an anime adaptation finally?
Yeah, you were.
We knew that was coming. Apparently, going to reveal no more information in 2 days. So 1 more day as a recording of this. So I'll have to keep an eye. No, 2 more days. 1 more day from the recording of this. So hopefully we get some kind of idea, maybe studio or time slot they might actually be in. Not time slot, but like bracket of time, like a year or so. That's cool though. I still stand by my statements that I hope that whoever handles it puts it in a better time slot and they don't, I guess sanitize is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Because like that show is much more showy than Urusei Yatsura. So let's see here. What else is good? Did you see that the website for the TV anime I'm a behemoth, an S-rank monster, but mistaken for a cat. I live with as an elf girl's pet. Have you ever read that manga?
Mm-mm.
I actually looked into a couple chapters of it, and it looked okay. I got immediate thoughts of like Inukai-san's dog, like him being the little pet. I seen somebody post something that I'm not sure if it's legit, but it makes me very curious about where the story goes. There was one statement made by the elf that I'm very curious if that actually is a real panel, and I'm curious where the story goes because of it. But yeah, after dying in a fight against the forces of evil, a knight found himself reincarnated as one of the most powerful monsters in the world. A behemoth. Problem is he has to grow up before he can really strut his stuff. As a baby behemoth because a baby behemoth looks a lot like a house cat. And an elf adventurer decides to take him in. She may need his help as much as he needs hers. So the cat girl looks super cute. I hope she looks that cute in this show. Did it show her?
Mm-mm.
I like a tan cat girl. That's like cat girl and tan girl in one is super interesting. So yeah, they don't show her. But yes,
no, just the cat. And then the elf getting naked because we
he's
know
a behemoth, Chris.
That's the most important thing.
That's the whole synopsis.
No,
He's a
the
behemoth.
most important thing is that the elf gets naked.
And the elf is stacked, so he can hide it inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the mangas are walking around with him sticking out of there, so it works. It works. It'll be a much more fun version of Inukai-san's dog. Imagine Rayearth is getting another adaptation too.
I think I heard you saying that.
Do you remember that show? Did you watch that original one? I seem to remember it was really good animation in the old one. I keep meaning to go back and double check it, but I'm pretty sure the old adaptation looked really good. So it's like I hope that they have some plans to make something visually good. Because why readapt it? I don't know. I want to say that I also had the Saturn. Was it a Saturn game?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I didn't have we rented it, but I didn't have it long. Anyways, yeah, the other news for Visual Arts and Key is that yes, they're getting an anime adaptation of Summer Pockets visual novel. It's going to debut in 2025. So that one I'm actually pretty interested in. It looks cute. I watched Ira from our community do some Let's Plays with that one, and the characters look really good. So kind of excited to see that get adapted too. And that's it. That's all the news. Did I miss anything, Chris?
I don't know. You got my screen blocked.
Well, no, I was asking if you had anything outside of this that... I went through this already. Oh. I'm not asking if you missed it. What do we have for our community? Again, if you guys want to ask questions for the podcast, we have a Discord. Again, you go to talkspear.com. That's where our links are for our Discord. You can go in there, and then there is a... I'm trying to find it because I've apparently forgotten it. Submit questions channel. Where you can submit questions, not chat, like people keep doing. Where's our last one?
Now everybody's afraid of submitting questions because
they're like afraid he's going to be seen as chatting. Free for all on the Discord says, "Would you ever be willing to do reviews of certain non-safe for work manga and anime? You know, that kind." He says, "I can't believe it's not hentai."
We've kind of started dabbling in that, but not. We're
still Magical Girl. That was basically it.
Well, and I even talked about a peeping hole. What Nizuki Anna. So, I mean, we're slowly dabbling in it, but
Didn't I review the detective or the police duo that were trying to hide as a couple next to the bad guys in the apartment, and they had to like make like noises to make people believe that they were actually married? That was so good. We also talked in the last podcast or discussion, we talked about the best hentais of that one company.
The problem with reviewing those, honestly, is it would get kind of awkward if you think about it. Because, I mean, while I can say that...
Well, let's be truthful. The stories suck.
They do. I mean, generally...
They're mostly about guy shows up and steals the woman away from guy. There you go. I gave you a review of, like, literally 99% of all hentais. Guy took the girl. Sometimes it looks like garbage. Sometimes it looks like basically recycled animation. There's not much to talk about.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I do see it interesting in things like, Harem Camp and that detective show, because it's like there is technically like a shtick there. Like there's a joke, there's a concept.
Well,
but most of the time there's nothing really there.
Yeah, some of them are goofy in concept, but it's like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's still like
an excuse to put the stick into the hole.
Yeah, that's it. The dude who's actually isekai, and he gets all kinds of special powers from the goddess that makes him a super sex guy, and it's like, what's that? I mean, yeah, it was kind of amusing as he goes through and takes on his entire harem, but at the end of the day, it's still, like Andrew said, it's putting a stick in a hole.
Stick in a hole.
Sometimes the sticks are a little bit wobbly.
Sometimes it's just a slime.
Sometimes it's a slime.
Sometimes it's an app.
Yeah, sometimes it's an app.
A lot of apps.
The apps that, for whatever reason, have special powers.
Swap bodies or control people with.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's a comment. Bad Midnight Meadow. I'm gonna publicly shame everybody. Misaki fan says this was going around in the visual novel community today. How would you feel this out for anime instead of visual novels? Favorite waifu of all time. Right now it's Roxy, but for the longest time it was Belle Dondi was like my first. And I don't remember who dethroned Belle Dondi. Rem eventually jumped into there. I'm trying to think. I mean, I obviously probably have a figurine of any character that I waifu. So, like, obviously Saber, Miku, and Nideko, Rem, Yu Gahama.
That's an interesting question for me. Because I like waifu.
He's like, I never think about this much.
Well, I waifu like everybody, so...
Asuka, well, it was like I always say, Rayearth was like when I first watched Evangelion, but later on I kind of fell off on her, and then Asuka came that. My gosh. Blanking on names right now. Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Why am I blanking on her name?
Ren Tosaka?
Ren Tosaka, yes. That was a big one. It was mainly Unlimited Blade Works sold me on her because it was obviously her story. So before that was Saber.
Well, when it comes to Fate, it would be Sakura for me, but she wasn't a mainstay waifu for me. That's the problem, is I don't have. I mean, Rory was one of the first ones that came to my mind, but
yeah, there is a thing about. Yes, I think everybody has like that waifu that kind of just sticks around in their mind every time they think about it. But they're technically,
well, like a
lot of this stuff, because there's no more content that comes out for it. It does kind of turn into this whole thing where it kind of gets put to the side.
Yeah, well,
it's not like a real wife where they're always around. Eventually, they fall. Hold easy one. I think that one.
Well, I was thinking like Armitage. We made the joke about Armitage the other day or a couple weeks ago, and it was like, Well, yeah. The reason Armitage, I bring up Armitage a lot is because she's kind of like my waifu for the longest time. Is just like Belle Dandy is for you. Is like she's one of my oldest waifus. I don't know. She just has always been there.
Tomoyo was a good one for a long time there. After I watched Clannad, Tomoyo was like my go-to for most of the time.
Well, in that case, it would have been the main girl on that one because I just
Nagisa?
yeah, because I absolutely adored them. Those ones
Fuka?
are easy. Yeah, Fuka's freaking adorable. I love Fuka. Her and her starfishes.
High five. For the longest time, I did pretty much like Shana from Shakana Shana.
Yeah.
But I think the one that remained in my mind the longest was probably Beldandi, and that's probably because she was like one of the OGs. I know you had Ayeka for the longest time.
Yeah.
I don't know that I really had
Rosario.
anything from Tenchi Muyo that stuck with me. Kione, I think in that series kind of stuck with me.
Yeah, you did like Kione. I was Ayeka until I got into the second season, and I freaking fell in love with what was her name?
Washu, obviously, because she's the
of
greatest.
course. She's the greatest.
She is Washu. She's a genius.
What was her name? Miyuki?
Mayuki was the daughter of darkness.
Yeah, I keep getting mixed
Magica.
up with it. Yeah, because I want to say that I kept getting those mixed up because
You talking about the Tenchin Tokyo girl?
yeah,
I don't remember what her name is, but yeah, Mayuka was the one from
the daughter of
was
darkness.
the daughter of darkness. Yeah,
and she had a very similar artwork style.
as the one from
in
Tenchin Tokyo.
Tenchin Tokyo. If I
I
remember
don't
right,
remember
she
that
was.
one. I don't remember. If you wanted to pull one out of me, I mean, right now it's Roxy. So I'd probably say right now is Roxy, and that's again, I do admit that's a lot to do with the fact that I'm like invested in Mashiko Tensei right now, and I'm consuming so much content for it. And I do acknowledge that a lot of this stuff, like the fall off on waifus, again, they're always going to be your waifu, like your favorite characters, but there is an element of like Saber for me. Good example. Saber, I just kind of fell away from because there's just like there's no content. So what are you going to do with the character once you're kind of done with the content around it and you kind of move on to other things? I mean, I guess I could continue watching or reading Fate Grand Order, but it's kind of a different Saber. So different universe.
Would I marry? Who would I marry?
Would you marry? Yes. I mean, if it's a waifu, you're going to marry him, right? Is there a waifu that you wouldn't marry?
I think that they're implying who's a character that you would marry. I'd marry Holo in a heartbeat.
Holo would just be too much fun.
Yeah.
Like her just every day hanging out, and yeah, I can kind of see things like Asuka.
No,
Is she marriage
Hell no.
material? Like she's a waifu character.
I mean,
but like, is she a wife
I like
character?
her. I like her in general concept. I would never marry that woman.
Oh man, Holo would be great though because she's fun. Like she's super fun. But yeah, I mean Roxy, yeah.
Who would I want as a girlfriend?
There, that's an Oscar. That's an Oscar thing.
Rory would be good as a girlfriend.
Are they gonna be jealous?
I'd share the night of my dreams with Rory or Kurumi maybe.
When are we become friends? Again, they're all kind of.
Kurumi would be dangerous to be in a girlfriend situation or in a married situation. Or, I mean, no, but I would share a night of my dreams with her. Would I want to be friends with? I could be friends with.
Which one are you gonna friend zone? Is that a question?
I think that
one of the questions is friend
zoning.
zoning.
I think we're friend zoning somebody.
Wow. I'm gonna stick with my characters I have on my Mal list here. I got 10 characters on here.
I think it would be nice to. I think it would be
Asuka.
nice to put Tama in my friend zone.
Mume. She would protect. She would be a good friend. She'd protect. Yeah?
Mume, help me.
Kabanari.
Yes, I mean, we
She'd
could
be
put her in the friend zone.
You could friend zone her. Miku. I would friend zone her. She'd just hang out every now and then and do some music. Every time I need to modify the Chris Vocaloid right here.
Best personality alone.
Best personality alone. These are
What
all
the
like
hell does that mean?
These are all like literally. Who's your favorite waifu? And let's ask about this.
Who's got the best personality? A character who has the best personality,
Even if they don't have a good character design or something. I'm guessing.
I guess. Can I
Yu
do
Gahama?
Komi? Can I
Yu
do Komi?
Gahama? I love her personality.
I'm gonna do Komi.
Komi-san?
Komi-san can't communicate.
She has a personality.
She has a great personality.
She doesn't communicate. How could she have a personality? That's like saying the robot from my wife is shows no emotions. She got a great personality. She literally stares at you and says whatever you want to cook for the day. Like, she doesn't smile. Her mouth literally doesn't open when she talks.
Very attractive, but wouldn't want to be with her. Yuno Gasai.
You're jumping ahead. Best design alone.
Used to be my favorite. I guess that would
I give that to
definitely-
Rintasaka.
That would be my Armitage. So that would be perfect for her.
I like Rintasaka's design. Like I've ever since Rintasaka, that hairstyle has been like whenever I see it in another
Twin
character,
tails,
it grabs me.
I love the twin tails.
It's a hair down with a twin tail specifically.
Yeah, I can see
Something here recently had that style, and I was like, it's Rintasaka, and I love it. I think it was a show that aired here recently.
Best design. I'll give that one to my Nozoki Anna. She's just freaking gorgeous. I absolutely love her art.
Used to be your fave.
That was the Armitage for me.
Again, Saber. I have
Well, you could do your Beldandi.
no, because she's still there. I just admit that earlier. But I think Saber, is the best example of one where it's like, if I could like press a button and it sold all of my Saber figurines so I can buy different ones, I would do it. Like I wouldn't get rid of my Beldandi figure. But I think Saber, I used to be, again, I have a whole, this whole display case here, literally. I mean, there's like Nero is in here. It's not technically all Fate Stay Night.
It's
Saber.
Saber face.
It's Saber face. I don't want to say that way because I think that's like saying every character in KyoAni is a KyoAni face. They are classified as Saber faces, though. He is correct. But they're not all Fate Stay Night Saber. There's Nero and Saber Alter, which is technically the same one. But I have a whole case of them. A whole Detolf case devoted to her. And at some point, I still like her design. I still think she's a great character. It's just I don't seek her out anymore. Like we broke up.
You broke up with her.
It's not her. It's me. It's not her. It's me. What else? We did a design. Used to be your favorite. Very attractive, but you wouldn't want to be with her.
Yuno Gasai. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that woman.
I guess that one would probably be Asuka. Like, I think she's great and everything, but like, she's not like the best personality. She's like a tsundere that I don't think you really ever break. At least in the show, she never. Yeah, I guess that goes in that realm of I can fix her kind of thing. But
well, I think that was because the one who was trying to break her sucked at breaking her.
That's true. Did he ever break her?
I think she broke him more than he broke her. He
finally broke her when he tried to strangle her to death. Or she was in a coma. He finally got lucky with her when she was unconscious.
That was Ray.
No. Asuka was the one that was in the hospital bed and he yankied. And says, I'm so disgusting.
Okay.
Yes, Ray is a lot of the time on bed too.
Guilty pleasure would probably be...
one that you're not like comfortable with, like admitting, like what would that even fall? What would they even fall in that category there? Like something that's just kind of weird to admit that you like.
There's a couple
know.
of Monster Musumes that I would probably...
The immediate came to my mind is going to be a monster girl then, I guess? Like the Harpy girl from Monster Musume. I don't know. I found her really cute. I guess I'll go with that one.
Yeah, I think that she would probably be a safe bet. It's some of the monster girls. It's like
I don't find any.
I kind of like you, but
like I like the Centaur girl's personality, but it's like I don't really find them like
the Centaur girl is
like I would call him a waifu, but the Harpy was like, yeah, she is kind of cute, so I guess I can go with the Harpy. Plus she lays eggs. Unlimited supply of eggs. What? You can have an omelet every day, dude. She's an unlimited supply of eggs. Every time you're gonna make a cake or something like that, honey.
Everyone hates, but you like.
Thanks for changing the subject. Everyone hates, but you like. Everybody hated Asuka. Like, there's a lot of people that hate Asuka. I've found here recently that a lot of people hate Roxy too. So there you go. No, here's one, a waifu character that I feel like gets way too much hate. Edis. There is a large group of people that absolutely hate her, and I blame the anime mostly for that, because it never explains Edis's perspective in the anime and why she left.
Oh, that's
people hate her. Like, more than I've seen people hate Roxy.
Well, that goes back to the conversation that we had before, and I think we've brought it up on the podcast. Is like, I don't understand. I truly, and maybe it's just because I've gone through the entire series. I love everyone, all three of the girls. My preference is Sylphie, okay, but I don't hate Roxy because of that. I actually love all three of the girls. They're absolutely fantastic and well written.
I would say there's like a side of me that almost like is a little bit disheartened by the fact that, yeah, I understand how much devastation happened to Rudy there, but the dude is very, she doesn't know that he is very mentally weak. She didn't do that knowing that he was mentally weak and wanted to destroy him. But she was a mere teenager, and kids make stupid decisions. And are you going to hate her forever because she makes a dumb mistake when she was, like, she just turned 15, didn't she? It's like, she's still a dumb kid. And everybody just wants to put her on a flaming pile of flames and burn her alive or something like that.
And not to mention the fact that she has a hard time communicating anyway.
Yeah. She is not a good communicator. I mean, Rayearth kind of hints at that. Like, yeah, I think you got that wrong. As a warrior, I can tell you, she sucks at talking. she sucks at talking. That's the only one I can think that like has a lot of hatred. As it's just, and that's really kind of, it sort of does fall into the realms of a waifu war kind of thing. So I do kind of acknowledge that. A lot of hatred, like Darling of the Franxx. I really like the blue hair girl.
Yeah.
People hated her after that one scene. I'm like, I mean, I don't really think that she's that bad for that. Come on, Drake. Like, there's this like realm of people that are a little bit highly sensitive, like NTR, I guess. So like super, whenever something happens like that, they're like, oh my gosh, get that out of here. My girl's supposed to win. It's crazy. What else?
Everyone likes, but you hate.
That's a little more difficult. That one's a little more difficult. It was not hate. Hate's a hard, as a tough word there. I disliked Sylphie for the longest time. I don't really dislike her anymore, but I did dislike her as a character in the story, not generally. But I have I have changed on that one. I've softened on that. That's the first one that kind of pops in my mind. I can't really. I'm sure like every single season there's a character that people like just really prop up a bit too much, and it's like I don't get it. That's kind of something that happens I think every single season. Like let's check last season.
Well, I can throw one out there. I never got the hype for Sakura from Naruto. I did not like her. Never did. Now now on the flip side, I guess I could go ahead and toss Hinata on the everyone hates but I like. I love her, but I do know that there is some folks that do like her, so take that for what it is. But I never did understand Sakura. I don't like her. Never did. She did come around for me really, really late in the show.
I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it too much.
I thought you liked her.
What, Sakura?
Mm-hmm.
that was a time in my life I don't remember really how much I don't know the levels of which I liked characters back then, but I never put her in a list anywhere, so I'm gonna assume that I didn't care for that much. If you don't put them in a list somewhere on a mouse site or something like that, they don't matter that much. So that's always a giveaway. I'm not seeing anything here recently that's that way. Oh, your Forger. I don't hate her. I don't get the hype.
Yeah.
Like I think she's fine.
Well, and that's how I feel about the Sakura thing. It's like, yeah, she's fine. But I don't get her. I don't get the. I mean, I like her character art, I guess, but she's not. I don't think that she's all that special. She's actually kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think that's
snobbish I don't like snobbish.
Again, it goes back to that whole thing of like, it never really for me comes down to like, I hate this character. I don't want them on the screen. It just really comes down to it's a nothing character. Like there was one somebody was talking about here. Ines Wallenstein. Again, I just don't shrug. Like she just for me has no personality. It's not like I hate the character, but at the same time, I'm not going to go out my way for her. And I think that's the thing. Again, it's never really a hatred thing for me. So
Ines Wallenstein, help me.
Damachi.
Oh, I actually liked her. But at the same time, do I go out of my way for her? No. I just liked her. She has that kudere personality, and I kind of like that. So,
yeah, I never care much for the motionless doll things, and she kind of has that whole thing going for her. Like literally, she's like the character when you have the meme layout that says like when angry. And it's this picture, sad, same picture, same picture all the way through.
That is the definition of kudere. Yeah. So I mean, she actually really that's one of the reasons why I kind of like her. So
because no matter what, she always looks the same.
She always looks cool.
no, it's literally like no matter how she's
cool
feeling,
beauty.
She always looks the same. She'll never get ugly. She always looks the same. When she's angry, she doesn't get ugly. She always looks the same. It's just sad because I never know when she's mad at me.
Now, underrated and overrated, I think we could. I mean, I could almost do the exact same ones, but if I'm trying to be fair and give you something new,
Darling the Franxx girl 02. Was it 01 or 02? She was 02, right? Right.
It might be 02. I think you're right.
Again, don't have a problem with her. But let her go.
Overrated.
Let her go. 02, yeah. I like her though. I think she got a hotness, and that's great because I'm going to slowly make some people angry because earlier I talked about how Ichika wasn't that bad. Everybody hated her, and now I'm saying that 02 is not that great. It's just like, especially during that whole like that video that somebody released about like the Google Trends or whatever, which I kind of think is completely skewed because how do you find a character 02? But let her go. Is all I'm saying. Just let her go. Let the girl go. Let her die with time. I think everybody just wants another season so they can see 02 again. She is good though. Like her design is incredible. But I didn't at the time when I watched that show, I wasn't like super onto her. But underrated, that one's kind of harder because like I guess in my list that I have here, the underrated would probably be Yume, Grimgar.
Yeah,
like I don't see anybody, but she was smoking. I loved her character design in that show. She was great, and I don't think it was kind of goes in line with the whole like aspect of. Did I lose my list? I had it up here a minute ago. It kind of goes in line with the whole thing where I think a lot of people kind of dropped off on Grimgar because they didn't like the pacing of it or whatever, and it wasn't like the most watched show ever. But I did like that. I did like her character.
Well, there's characters that I've.
She's like the Genki character in a kind of a heavy fantasy world, I guess. The reason why I like her.
There's some characters that I've definitely thought, man, they underplayed this character, but underrated is kind of a weird one.
Well, it's like overrated and underrated. It's more popular than it should be, and it's less popular than I want it to be.
Yeah.
It's more popular than I want it to be, and it's less popular than I want it to be. That's always overrated and underrated. What was the other one here? Hold a special place in your heart. That one's kind of deep, Chris. I don't know that I really have an answer for that one. I want to think, when I think of something like that, I usually think like maybe like say you were in a difficult spot and maybe that waifu was like the one that kind of cheered you up. But I don't really have that case. I mean, like, I always point out the idea that like Hanasaki Roha kind of brought me into like a realization point in my life, but I wouldn't really throw like the characters in that into that whole position. So can't really say that I can equate that whole situation there. There's probably a show out there where maybe like the actions or the circumstances of the character, a female character specifically, may have kind of hit me a little bit, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Again, without going with something like Hanasaki Roha, which I like. What was her name? Ohana, but not. She's not like on a waifu list. Oh, the Baba, the granny of that show. There you go. She's life changing for me.
She can be
my
a waifu.
Favorite grandma.
She can be a waifu.
My favorite grandma waifu right there. should go on that list. There you go. I got my Baba grandma waifu in there. Anyways, that was a long long list there. What else do we got here? TCB says, what anime were you recommended to someone who thinks it has what anime you were recommended to by someone who thinks it was the best anime they ever seen that you felt opposite on? Again, this is another one that's kind of difficult to think off the top of my head. Was something here recently? I think I pretty much have something like that every season, because I have a lot of people during the season starting especially that are like, hey man, have you watched this show yet? Because I'm obviously doing the first impressions of all the shows. And I'll have a lot of cases where like I haven't gotten to a show yet and everybody's like super hype on it, like, dude, you gotta watch the show. And then I get around to it and it's like, wasn't that great? But I think the most recent one here was probably Girls Band Cry, which again, I like that show. I think it's a solid like 7 or 8. But there was like this massive hype that was behind it. I'm like, guys, chill. It's like, this isn't like the next, like the greatest thing since sliced bread here.
All right.
We're not redoing the genre or anything like that. I think there is certain groups of people that are kind of passionate about those shows that just aren't really getting the global like populace attention. And so I fully understand that desire to kind of want to hype things up. I mean, we do it on a regular basis with shows that we feel are like kind of like hidden gems, and you kind of want it to have more attention. But it's usually kind of seasonal for me because there's not really many shows. I mean, I get plenty of people that are suggesting me to watch shows, but it's just like I don't really have time to like go back to like some really older shows to like give them attention. But yeah, Girls Band Cry was probably the recent example. But again, I enjoyed it. It was terrible. But he said it was like, he specifically said they didn't like, right?
Well, most of the shows that people get super hype over, I tend to be like the crazy gory stuff, so I tend to avoid them like the plague anyway. So
there was a bit of hype around Seven Spellblades. I'll admit that one, but I think that's an adaptation thing. Yeah. I think that one was really an adaptation thing. I kind of want to say again. Opposite means that it's like you don't like it. Fairy Tail, I will admit, getting into that one, I wasn't as impressed as I was kind of hoping it would be. Again, it's still a good show, but I do think that like the fandom around Fairy Tail was a bit more than what I ended up being presented with when I actually watched the show. And that's really kind of around like those like middle points of the series that always kind of feels like a little bit of a downer for me. And
well,
a lot
I
of the
think
comedy is very repetitive, which is kind of a shonen thing.
Yeah, I think that's more of a shonen problem than it is an actual.
It's a shonen problem. It's not Fairy Tail's fault. It's a shonen. It's shonen's fault.
I mean, think about how many of those shonen shows that you when you start them, you're always like, okay, this is fun. I can do this, and at some point you're so far into it, you're like, well, it's crazy how much is here.
Was it Twin Star Exorcist? That one was a bit rough. I didn't hate it again, but that one was a bit rough. And I want to say there was a few people that were pretty heavy on that show too.
I suppose I liked it, but do I think it's like the greatest shonen ever? No.
Well, again, the idea of like people like hyping it and then it not really being that great.
Well,
like,
I don't remember it
opposite
being
on.
I don't remember it being hyped, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
I had some people contact me here recently with asking me, "Have you watched Twin Star Exorcist?" And I'm like, "Where did you come from?" That was like a long time ago.
Forever ago.
Why are we bringing up that randomly again? There was that one. You never thought that was a girl online, but I don't remember people like suggest me to watch that one. But I think a lot of people loved it, and I didn't really care much for it.
Can we put Rent a Girlfriend in that list?
There you go. Yes, exactly. But that sucks because nobody likes that show. They like hating it. It's like, shut up then. So they stopped making it. Nobody really likes it. Gudako says, what gacha game do you want to cross over with what anime? Much like how Blue Archive had Hatsumika. Don't remind me that it had Hatsumika because they're never going to bring it back so I can have Hatsumika. And is about to have the Railgun event and Nikkei with ReZero event. Well, Nikkei did have a questionnaire, and they put like Mashiko Tensei and like Licodoshi Coil in there, and I was like, actually, Licodoshi Coil would be perfect for that game. Armitage would be amazing for that, but why the hell would they cross over with Armitage? Nikkei out of nowhere is like, here's Armitage.
I'm the only one who wants Armitage anywhere, so
I don't know. I would love Izzy or Rabbit in Blue Archive would be amazing. They would totally fit too. They just walk around with like little teacups and cocoa and stuff like that. It was super cute. I don't know what else would fit with Blue Archive. It'd have to be lollies. If it's Blue Archive, it has to be lollies. So just think of like the best lolly characters, and they're just gonna end up in Blue Archive. Izzy or Rabbit would be great though, like legit. I mean, the only game that I'm like really invested in right now is Brown Dust 2, and I don't know what I really kind of want with Brown Dust 2. I mean, it's a very kind of medieval style tactical RPG kind of game, so it'd have to kind of fit that aesthetic. I wouldn't really want something that's outside that aesthetic. I mean, ReZero would be fine, but I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Spice and Wolf. I want Hollow and Brown Dust 2. She'd be perfect. Because she'd be like, obviously have some animations that are a little bit kind of risque. And Brown Dust 2 does not seem to care about having a little bit of risque.
There you go.
So it actually fits very well. Or put Hollow and Snake. She just legit have nothing on. She just be shooting with nothing on, with her obviously her tail be perfectly positioned so to cover everything up, but she just be completely naked shooting things. That would be perfect. Please do it. Even though I'm giving up on Nikkei, do it just because I just want to see it happen. That's I'm not too partial with really anything, but I guess that would be my major ones. I mean, I would like another collab with Mushoku Tensei with Brown Dust so they can actually bring out the characters. I would have liked to have Gillian in there, or Ellen Lease would be fantastic to have in that game. Sadly, they just kept with 2 characters, which I understand because I don't think they wanted to put too much investment into it. What happened to my screen here? Yeah, I'd have to think on that a little bit longer. I mean, I would like to see a Fate Stay Night with Brown Dust too. I think that would have worked as well, but that's about all I can think of. Anyways, any collabs, Chris? You don't play gacha games. I
don't.
He somehow got out of the hell that is gacha games. Everybody pachi for Chris. He got out of the hell that is gacha games.
I just don't have time.
Ida says, what anime from the past do you think would be much more popular if it came out today, and vice versa? What is a popular anime in the past that you could think that wouldn't be as nearly popular if it came out today? Escaflowne would tank so bad. I was actually, somebody was pointing out Escaflowne here recently, and I was like, it's actually not that. If I remember correctly, because we watched that here recently, because we got the Blu-ray version from Funimation, and it was like, it's good. It's amazing animation set pieces. Oh my gosh, because the 90s anime. But I don't think that would fly at all these days. Like, the people would be so bored watching that show these days. It wasn't that deep. But
Well, that we had that discussion about the
a lot of the
idea
older shows
of
don't really hold up.
yeah. It's like we've talked about Record of Lotus War quite a few times, and mostly because we would love to see it kind of refreshed. The biggest thing about that is that refresh.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty,
Remake, not a
remake. Yeah.
Like a full remake, not a like an HD upgrade kind of thing.
Because I mean, if you go back, that would be probably slow as just like Gundams. Gundams are brutal.
That's why I like the Origin. That's why I was saying if they ever did I want them to do a 1997 or 79 OG Gundam remake like Origin.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were doing. Origin kind of builds up to it. And I'm like, keep going. Just fix that old series so that it makes it. Because even whenever people ask me right now, hey man, do you go to which Gundam should I watch? I was like, I mean, do you want the full experience or do you want to watch stuff that's enjoyable? Because I want you to say if you want the full experience, start from the very beginning. But it's tough. Like that is a tough one to get through. So either have a Blu-ray player that plays at at least 1.5 speed, or get ready to sit through some stuff. It's a tough one to get through. Akira, I think, would be. But I mean, it's happening. Sunrise is apparently they're doing a TV, I think, version, or at least a new Akira. So we'll see here soon. But yeah, the original film Akira, even released today, I think would just do incredible. Now, I think people would be a lot more critical of its ending if it is like just the movie, because the ending is kind of like it just happens. Obviously original from the manga. So I think people would be more critical of that, but I think if it had the style and the aesthetic and the directing and the music, I think people would eat it up today.
Yeah.
Just as much as they did back then. It's just kind of classic like that. Something like Tenchi Muyo wouldn't work.
No.
Pretty much all comedies. Most all comedies from back in the day tank. They just, I don't think they would be. I mean, Urusei Yatsura was kind of an example of that. It's just like you have to have either that funny bone or you have to have nostalgia glasses to probably really enjoy Urusei Yatsura, the new one that came out. So I've seen a lot of people criticizing that show for the comedy. It's like, that was that time, dude. Mm-hmm. They literally will have an introduction of the character. They will have a joke around that character, and they will keep doing that joke. Just now they're in this place now. They're at the beach, or now this person shows up, and so you get to see how they react to that comedy. Comedy itself just does not age well. Gurako says, what anime or Japanese artist alive do you want to do art for Magic the Gathering? I'll just name a character, artist that I like, Rinjin Murata, but I don't really have a massive connection to Magic the Gathering, so you'd probably be better at that. I don't know. Like, I guess the question is more what would fit Magic the Gathering?
I would say the Bahamut series.
Yeah, Rinjin Bahamut?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff really does kind of fit that aesthetic, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. I don't know if they had like a specific artist because that was like a mobile game, so
I have no idea.
They might. Sabo Boy says, can we get a podcast or two on y'all's favorite anime openings and endings? I had a lot of fun making my own my top openings of all time, and I use this ranking criteria. Anyways, off the top of your head, what might you say could be your top 3 openings, and why is one of them from Showa? That second opening was so good. Was it the second one? I think it was the second one. It was super good. Like the one where it like really starts getting to his head and it's all like super dark and it's got like the skeleton and everything. That was really good. His ranking criteria says 25% how well they fit with the show, nostalgic factor, animation bias towards the show, I like use of music and personal taste, enjoyment. We did have a podcast where I think it was the first music podcast we did, and we did like a whole bunch of them there. So I don't know if it's still on the podcast feed. I might have to re-upload it because a lot of stuff's still missing. But Utawa Mono was like, when we first made that podcast episode, I was like, that was the first thing that came to mind. We got to make sure that we have Utawa Mono in there. Utawa Mono, the first OP was it's super gorgeous, super gorgeous. I'd probably throw stuff in there like Creepy Nuts with Hollow Knight. I still listen to music for that. It's so good. Some other ones. A lot of stuff with Suwano really works for me, as always. Like Seraph of the End's music with Suwano was really good. Pretty much anything with Suwano.
For all the hate, well, I guess I would also toss in the 12 Kingdoms music. I think that was really fantastic.
Oh, Gotcha Crowd's Insight. Was it Insight? Or was it the first one that we liked more?
Well, and that's what I was getting ready to say. For all the hate that Grimgar's music got, I think that in a lot of cases that fit really
a lot of
well.
no-name music is really good. Yeah. I will admit when it came to Sakura Quest, I didn't really care much for the music they had for that one. I mean, it was good. It just wasn't like super good for me. At some point I kind of just fell off with their music. There's sometimes where a lot of stuff sometimes unfortunately gets a little samey. I can even admit with a lot of Swano stuff that some of that stuff can get samey. Like I can tell you if I go onto like Spotify and I listen to Swano Hiroyuki, there's gonna be cases where I go, this one isn't working for me. Like it doesn't feel like he's doing enough with it. But then there's every now and then he'll make a new song and it's like, holy crap, this got a completely different vibe to it. He's got a new vocalist working on it. That's why I felt with Seraph at the End. I really liked how Seraph at the End, he started getting a lot of different vocalists involved. Same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles X. He got a lot of different vocalists involved with that, so it gave it a different feel for each one they did. That's sort of the nice thing that Sawano has going for him is that he's able to because he's not the vocalist, because he doesnn have a vocalist.
He has a knack.
He's able to pull in different artists.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that he has a knack for pulling out power vocals out of whichever vocalist he's working with. He does have a knack for pulling that out. However, this is where me and Andrew kind of differ, as he actually is acknowledging it, is I got tired of Swano's sameness a long time ago. It's almost like I don't even have to hear too far into the Swano song and I already know that's Swano song. I just know it. But at the same time, he is a good composer. I do like it. I just that is what it is.
The Deco OP for, was it Nisei Monogatari? The Zimba song? That song just is still catchy to this day. I mean, a lot of the Monogatari series music, their character OPs is like, it typically with like whenever a show has like the characters are doing a song for the actual show, it's always like so like it just feels like a cash grab. Like they're just making this OP with the characters in the song just to get money. And yeah, they're obviously with the Monogatari series they were doing that too. I mean, I have the massive brick they sold, but they're just so good. Like whoever was composing a lot of that music and putting it together, they did an incredible job. Going
for songs that match the show itself, I would have to
that's where I think that toss in.
I would have to toss in the one for Future Diaries.
Norigami's OP too. That one just had that aesthetic. It had that feel, that vibe of Norigami.
Oral Cigarettes.
Yes. Was that the first one? That was Oral Cigarettes, yeah.
Hey Kids or something like that.
Kyokin Hey Kids or something like that.
I was going to say Higurashi as well.
Yeah.
I think that those two, their openings are just, they grab that.
That was kind of the sad thing going into that
crazy aesthetic type thing.
Yeah, that was kind of the sad thing going the new Higurashi was like, God, just throw the old song back in here. Just use the same OP from the old series. You don't even have to make a new song. Because it just had its own vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the only ones I can think off the top of my head. There's probably a million other ones that I'm forgetting that just absolutely nailed it. I usually like to, like, Kaguya-sama Love is War, especially like the first one, definitely nails that entire feel of that series, so I could feel that too. Could we do one more? I think one more, unless it's too long. Let's see, what else we got? LTG Goat says, what are your thoughts on how Rosario X Vampire anime was butchered? And if you would advocate for a reboot of it because of the quality of the second season of the manga. I don't personally know about that, but I have heard several times that was not a good adaptation.
I don't know if it was a good adaptation or not. I loved the series. And
well, they said it's butchered.
Obviously, according to him, it's butchered. So I either way, whether it was butchered or not butchered, I completely and totally advocate for the remake of Rosario plus Vampire.
You're really like, actually, no, it wasn't butchered. But yes, it was, so we can get another one. Just so I can redo it. You have the group that did Immoral Guild do it this time.
Yes, please.
There you go. They got the spices right in that one. No, I seem to remember a while back I heard somebody explain like what was wrong with it. It was probably web gaming. Somebody explained to me like a whole bunch of stuff that they did wrong with that whole adaptation. I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, I think I went and like snooped the manga for a little bit, and yeah, I seem to remember it not being real well done. So, I mean, I'm kind of with Chris here. I have no idea, but sure. Whatever excuse to do Rosario. Yeah. I mean, we're making a lot of stuff right now, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't like. We're getting another Rent a Girlfriend. I would rather have that than Rent a Girlfriend. So
yeah,
whatever's gonna take that time slot that we don't really need, I'll do it. I'm all for it. I've been putting off watching Rosario Vampire for a long time. I think I want to say that I watched quite a bit of it. How many seasons was that? If it was only one season, I probably watched it.
I think it was only two. I think it was like 2 seasons.
Vampire Anilist. I want to say it was 2. At least 2, because Anilist shows 2 right there. So 13 episodes for season 1. Then we had 13 episodes for season 2. That's it. Just 2 seasons. I wonder. I don't think I watched all of season 2 though. For sure.
I doubt it. I mean,
I know I watched season 1 though.
Because I want to say that
I think there's a character in season 2 I don't recognize, so that's a good sign that I haven't. I have that listed complete. Yeah, because I don't even have it added to my Mal or my chart for season 2, so that makes sense. Anyways, that's it. I think we'll call it there. We've answered enough of your guys' questions. Now get the hell out of here. I only have like a page left of questions, so that's a bad sign. People need to step it up. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this run through of the news that should be important to you, because it was important to us that we decided to tell you because it was so important, especially that Minami Ke is coming back. Let me know in the comments down below and different sources that you like Minami Ke, because I feel like nobody likes Minami Ke but me. It makes me sad. More people should love Minami Ke.
There probably is more people that love it. You just don't know about it.
I gotta find the groups. Well, because it's nowhere. How can people like things that aren't existing and available on Crunchyroll? But yes, we're at TalkSpirit.com. It's where all of our links are. Social media links, ways to get a hold of us, ways to support us. Greatly appreciate you guys' support. Definitely, if you guys are not already, TalkSpirit on YouTube, youtube.com/TalkSpirit. I'm doing first impressions of all the shows of the season, so definitely check me out there, so you can get all that stuff, figure out what you need to be watching for the summer season. And like I said, technically start next week for the podcast listeners. We'll start our first impressions. So everybody get onto the Discord and different groups to yell at Chris to get to work, Chris. Watch them shows.
I'm working on it.
I'm saying they're supposed to yell at you. Don't respond now, because then they feel like they won't have to tell you.
Oh.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, y'all take care.
Os.